Shabbat Shalom. We're getting settled into our Shabbat mode and feeling the Shabbat joy, and it's always great to be able to celebrate Shabbat with people that we care about, people who care about us, and to celebrate excellent people on Shabbat. And so just a couple tips and tricks to help you feel like you are ready to celebrate Shabbat. Each of you received a copy of Mishkan Tefillah, our Reform Movement prayer book, when you came into our sanctuary from our wonderful ushers. Thank you, ushers. You'll see in it that it has all of the prayers that we'll be doing in Hebrew and in transliteration, in Hebrew words but English letters, and in translation right underneath it. But you'll also see that there are pieces of poetry and teaching also throughout the prayer book that are connected to the prayers and are meant to help us find our way through the service in whatever prayers, whatever inspiration we need at the moment. So if you are finding yourself perusing the prayer book and really sinking into one page, that's probably exactly where you're supposed to be, and enjoy that page. We will meet up with you at the next prayer. And you already know the two most important words to be able to participate in this service. So repeat after me, La. Amen. Amen. That's all you need. So you can sing along, you can clap along, hum along to all of our musical pieces. And if you do not know any of the prayers, you can also say an amen at the end, and it is as if you have said the prayer all together. One last little tip and trick is, I know some of us might have brought cell phones in because who knows, we just can't manage to leave our cell phones behind. But I promise you, the only call that you get in the sanctuary comes directly from God, and God doesn't need a cell phone. So I would like to encourage you to maybe turn your cell phone to silent or to do not disturb. You can even turn it off if you remember where the power button is. And you can find yourself present here in this moment and not need to worry about any other messages that might be coming in that would take you out of this moment. As we begin our service, we invite Jim Lyerly and Tracy Van Fleet to help us open our ark doors. Please rise as you are able. Please be seated. We turn in our prayer books to page 67 and invite Fred Dardick to lead us in our opening prayer.
May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, things to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May the synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It is so beautiful when we get to gather together. It's so wonderful to be able to celebrate days like today. Our liturgy and our text tells us, Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, how beautiful, bless you. How beautiful it is that we are able to gather together. How beautiful is this tent that we create together. Page 74.
Israel, my
Our world is filled with miracles, miracles that happen so often that we don't always get a chance to acknowledge them or notice them, and all the more so we don't get a chance to be grateful for them and express our gratitude. And so our liturgy has, as one of the very first things that we do every morning, a reminder of the miracles that exist around us and within us, and a reminder of how we can show our thanks for them. Page 175 for Nisim B'chol Yom, and we invite Elle to lead us in these blessings responsively.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lesevivina lehavhin ben yom uven laila.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kefufim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam roka haaretz al hamayim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamechin mitzarei gaver.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish harumim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanoten laya'ef koach.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hama'avir sheina me'enai utnuma me'afapai.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shasani b'tzelem Elohim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shasani ba'horim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shasani Yisrael.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Ozir Yisrael bigvura.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Oter Yisrael b'tifara.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah.
Amen.
This last blessing is a blessing for Torah study, and as Elle well knows, we would never say the blessing without also doing the action, right, Elle?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And so you'll find on the next page, on page 180, is a piece of Mishnah, one of the very first commentaries on the Torah that lists 10 actions, that in doing those actions, it is almost as if we have studied the Torah in its entirety. And Elle will teach us about those actions in English.
These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all.
As we transition from the prayers and the readings that help to warm up our souls to the real work of our souls, we make that transition with Chatzi Kaddish, page 194.
It's Kadosh, Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'amad yifrach chirutei, ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chayetecho b'it Yisrael. Bagada, bagada, uv'zman kariv, v'imiru ayin. Yeheshei Rabbah v'norach, ve'alam olam me'amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei tekudesha brechu, ve'ela mikol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata, tamilat le'ama, ve'imiru amen. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Le'olam Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or u'varei choshech, oseh shalom u'varei et hakol.
Hama'ir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha brahamim uftvo mehadesh behol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reshit ma rabu ma'aseha Adonai kulam b'hochma asita mala ha'aretz kinineha tiparach Adonai Eloheinu al sheva ma'aseh yadeha v'al ma'orei or she'asita yifarua selah. Or hadash al Zion ta'ir v'nizkeku lanu me'era le'oro. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'me'orot.
We continue on page 199 in the English responsively. O God, inspiration and guide for all, you have spoken in 1,000 tongues for us to hear. In every land and every age, your children have heard you and imagined you in separate ways. And yet, O God, you are one, unifier of humanity. We give thanks for the sages and teachers who bring us understanding of your will. Gratefully we recall the lawgivers and prophets, the psalmists and sages of Israel, and joyfully we remember that from the dawn of Israel's life
we would turn to you and find purpose.
May the teachings of our ancestors live on in our minds, and their passion for righteousness stir our hearts. Help us to live so that our daily conduct reveals the beauty and wisdom of your truth.
Baruch atah
Baruch
Adonai,
Shemo.
Habocher b'amo Yisrael be'ahava.
Amen.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kivod Malhutov, Leolam Va'ed. V'haftah Adonai Elohecha, B'chol levavecha, u'v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol meodecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher Elohim mitzabeha, hayom alavaveha, v'shinantam levaneha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivteha b'veiteha, uv'lechteha v'aderech, uv'shokbeha uv'kumeha, ukshartam la'o al yadeha, v'hayu l'totofo b'neineha, uktavtam al mezuzot beiteha, uvishareha, leman tizkeru, v'asitem mekol mitzvotai, v'hitem kedoshi le'Eloheim, ani Adonai Eloheim, asher hotzetiem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lahem le'Elohim, ani Adonai Eloheim.
Adonai Elohechem emet.
We continue on page 203, where Elle will lead us in the English.
Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles and earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of world redeemed, the song of peace.
Mi chamocha
Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rahel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor V'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zoher Haseavot V'imahot, Umevi Geulah Livnei V'neihem, Laman Shmo B'ahava, Mela Ozer, Umashia Umagen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Vezrat Sarah. Atagi Borle Olam Adonai, Mehayeha Kol Atah Rav Leoshia, Mashiv Harua, Umarid Hagashem, Mehakel Hayim Behesed, Mehayeha Kol Brahamim Rabim, Someh Noflim, Verufei Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umakaye Emunato, Lishanei Afar, Mi Hamohaba Al Givurot, Umi Domela, Melech Memi Umahaya, Umatzmia Yeshua, V'ne'emana Ta'ala Hakol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mehaye Hakol.
Please be seated. At the center of our service is a reminder of the holiness of today, the holiness of Shabbat, the holiness of being able to take a rest and to rejuvenate ourselves and to really see the world that is around us. And we are reminded that the holiness of today stems from the very first Shabbat. Because God created the world in 6 days and then rested on the seventh, so too now do we rest every seventh day and have the ability to sit back and appreciate creation around us. We have that reminder with the words of Yismechu, page 211 at the top of the page. No service is ever complete without a prayer for shalom, a prayer for peace and wholeness, contentment, a prayer for blessing and grace and loving kindness. Every service has a prayer that asks God to sim shalom, to place that sense of peace upon us, upon those whom we love, upon our communities, indeed upon the entire world. And so we turn to our prayer for peace, page 216.
Sim shalom tova uvracha. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amecha. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Sim shalom tova uvracha.
We take these next few moments for our own personal prayers and reflections. We now turn to Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the order for the reading of the Torah beginning on page 244. And we invite up Nathan Dardick and Tracy Lyerly, and of course we can't do anything without Elle, for the passing of our Torah, page 244. Please rise as you are able.
In Kamocha Elohim Adonai V'in Kemasecha Malechutecha Malechut Kol Olamim U'Memshaltecha B'chol Dor V'Dor.
Havu Godel Eloheinu Utnu Chavod LeTorah. Come, let us declare the greatness of God and give honor to our Torah. This is our Torah which was handed to Moses on Sinai, and he handed it to the generation of the desert, and they handed it to all the generations in all the lands until now it finally reaches Elle. This is our Torah which centers around the watchword of our faith, the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
When you think creatively, you become resilient. The lesson I am teaching today is based on the Torah portion Noah. As background, Jewish people read the 5 books of Torah over the course of a year, and the first book is the book of Genesis. My Torah portion today is the second portion of the book of Genesis. It is called Noah, or Noach in Hebrew. I'm sure many people already know this story. It is the story of God destroying the earth with a flood because people were too wicked. But God decided Noah was righteous and chose Noah and his family, as well as 2 of every kind of animal, to survive. God tells Noah to build a large boat called an ark, which is how they would survive the flood. Noah does exactly that and brings the animals on the ark. After the flood, all the creatures on the ark had to start over, but God promised never to flood the earth again. God's promise is in the form of a rainbow. Every rainbow we see today symbolizes the oath that God made on that day to never fight fire with fire or aggression with aggression, and to think things through before carrying them out. The entire story in Hebrew would be very long, so the specific part I will be reading in Hebrew today is the story of the dove. After 150 days at sea, and before God's promise to Noah, Noah saw mountain peaks. He knew the water was subsiding, but he didn't know how much or what to do. He had to get creative. Noah released a dove to see what would happen. The dove returned, so Noah knew that the dove couldn't find anywhere to land. Noah waited 7 days and sent out the dove again. The dove came back, but this time the dove had a freshly picked olive leaf in his beak. Noah knew that the water was subsiding because the dove was able to reach the branch of a tree. But the water had not subsided enough yet for them to embark on dry land. Otherwise, the dove would have stayed on the land and not came back. Noah waited another 7 days and sent out the dove again. This time, the dove did not return at all, and after all that work and creativity by Noah, God finally tells Noah to leave the ark. But when Noah was faced with uncertainty, in a very scary and difficult situation, floating at sea when the rest of the world had been destroyed, he didn't just wait for God, he was creative, and his creativity allowed him to be resilient. Resilient means to bounce back quickly from difficult situations. Noah's creativity allowed him to be resilient because he had hope for a future on dry land, and hope for a better world that existed before God's flood. One of my own examples of being creative is when I was coming up with my own Tikkun Olam project. There is a concept in Judaism that we refer to in Hebrew as Tikkun Olam. It translates to repairing the world or making it a better place. You may have heard of it in connection to B'nai Mitzvah as the Mitzvah project. I had to think creatively in order to come up with a project that would be meaningful to me. I wanted it to be personal, and I wanted it to connect with what I love. For my own Tikkun Olam project, it is divided into 2 pieces. The first piece is collecting and donating new and gently used dancewear to give to the Dancewear Share Library. It is located at Loyola Park in Chicago and hosted by Synapsis Art. It is a free resource to those in need of dance apparel. This organization allows children to experience the magic of performing arts if they couldn't otherwise afford proper dance shoes and clothes. I spend many hours each week dancing and figure skating and want other children to have similar opportunities. I want them to have similar opportunities for exercise and for competition, but also to learn creativity. Just like Noah and the dove, when you are creative, that creativity allows you to be resilient in the face of uncertainty. So far, I've been able to direct people who want to donate cash to the Share Library, but also with the help of friends and family, we've collected over 200 items, mostly various dance shoes and leotards, that we were able to drop off to the Share Library. If you have any questions about my project or where to drop off donations, come and talk to me and I will happily answer any of your questions. The second part of my Tikkun Olam project is to share my bat mitzvah with one of the 1.5 million children who died in the Holocaust and was not able to have a bar or bat mitzvah of their own. I'm participating in the Chain of Memory program through the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum. I'm dedicating my bat mitzvah to Esther Morgenstern by sharing her story today. She was born in Poland in 1927. When war broke out, she was taken out of school and her home was destroyed. She moved in with some of her relatives, but the space grew crowded and typhus and lice spread quickly. Sadly, Esther and her family were deported to Treblinka extermination camp, where she died at just 15. My bat mitzvah is just as much mine as it is hers. I would like to mention that my great-grandmother, who is here today, is also named Esther, and my Hebrew name is Eliana Esther. I would like to take a moment to remember Esther Morgenstern and her journey. Before we move on to the Torah, I have some words of appreciation. Rabbi Cohen taught me that everything should be in sets of 3. So to honor that, first I would like to thank everyone at Temple Jeremiah for preparing me for today. Second, I would like to thank my family for their love and support. And third, thanks to my friends who are here to help me celebrate. I want to end with a prayer to the world. My prayer is for peace and for everyone who needs it. And I pray for everyone to have the opportunity to experience creativity in their own life. I hope that we can find new paths to a more peaceful world. Amen.
I know we all feel like Torah experts now, because it was so well taught, so well interpreted, it's almost as if we don't need to hear the Torah directly from the scroll. But I know Elle works so hard on it that she would be very disappointed if we didn't also read the Torah from the scroll. And so you can follow along with this Torah reading, if you would like, in the Chumashim, the printed versions of Torah that are either under your chair or one of the chairs nearby you. And we'll begin on page 61 with Genesis chapter 8, verse 1, page 61.
For the first Aliyah, we invite up Esther Finney and Laura Miller. Ta'amodna, Esther bat David ve'Ellen ve'Leah bat Fibel ve'Esther le'Aliyah le'Torah.
Shall we start? Okay. Baruch et Adonai Hamavorah. Baruch Adonai Hamavorah le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hamavorah le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayizkor Elohim et Noah, va'et kol ha'haya, va'et kol ha'pema, asher ito b'teva, va'yaver Elohim ruach al ha'aretz, va'yashoku hamayim, va'yisaru mayenot tehom, va'arubo hashemayim, vayikale hageshem min hashemayim, vayishuvu hamayim me'al ha'aretz, halo vashov, vayachseru hamayim, mikseh hamishim ima'at yom.
Beautiful. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam. Asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'hayei olam notan v'doteinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
I want to.
For our second Aliyah, we invite up Joanne and Nathan Dardick. Ya'amdu, Yafa bat Fibel ve'Esther v'Natan ben Lev ve'Carolyn, la'Aliyah le'Torah.
Sure. Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. Oh, I'm sorry. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vatana hateva, vahodesh hashvi, v'shivasar yom, vahodesh al harei ararai, v'hamayim, hayu halo, v'hasor ad hahodesh asiri, v'asiri v'had lahodesh, niru rashi harim, v'hi miketz arba'im yom, v'yiftach Noah et halo hateva asher asah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam. Asher natan lanu Torah emet. V'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. The third Aliyah, we call up Tracy and Bill Lyerly. Ta'amod, Tamara bat Natan v'Yafa le'aliyah le'Torah.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Amen. Vayishla eharev vayetze yatso vashov adivoshet hamayim me'al haaretz vayishla et hayona me'to lirot hakalu hamayim me'al pnei ha'adama v'lo matzah hayona manoa lehafragla v'tashov elav el hateva ki ma'im al pnei hol haaretz vayishla yado vayikaheha vayave ota elav el hateva.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Prayer on the occasion of a bat mitzvah. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless my daughter, Elle, who has come forward this day to the reading of the Torah in recognition of her desire to live a worthy Jewish life. May God continue to be with her in the life before her, just as God has been with her from the day of her birth until now. May it be God's will that she continue to grow in body and spirit, in wisdom and humility, in the love of all creatures, in faithfulness and courage, and may she always be regarded as gracious and wise in the eyes of all of humanity. And let us say, Amen.
For the final aliyah, we invite up our bat mitzvah, Elle Elizabeth Lyerly. Tamod, Tamod, Tamod. Eliana Esther bat Tamara habachara haba mitzvah le'aliyah le'Torah. Chizki v'imtzi. Chizki v'imtzi. May you be strong and courageous. Go ahead.
Baruch Adonai Mavorach.
Baruch Adonai hamavarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Mavorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayahel od shivat yamim ahirim, vayosef shalat hayonah min hateva. Vatavo elav hayonah la'e erev v'hine alezai taraf b'fiha vayeda Noah ki kalu hamayim me'al haaretz vayahel od shivat yamim ahirim vayishla et hayonah v'lo yasfa shuvelav od. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'hayei olam nata b'Eloheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
While we are in the presence of our Torah and all the blessing it lends to us, we take this moment to think of those in lives in our community, in the world, and especially in the state and the land of Israel who could use a little extra blessing themselves. And so we have a prayer for Israel. Eloheinu v'Eloheim otenu v'avotenu. Our God and God of our ancestors, we ask your blessing for the state of Israel and for all of Israel's inhabitants. Makor Chayim, source of life, bless and strengthen those who defend the land and ensure their safe return and speedy return home. Protect them and guide them. Kadosh Baruch Hu, holy and blessed one, show Israel's leaders your path so that they may act with wisdom, courage, and dedication, and that they may be unwavering in their pursuit of peace. Strengthen their hearts, but keep them from hardening. Matir Asurim, freer of the captives. Return all those who are kidnapped safe and sound to their homes, without the spilling of more innocent blood, without any more souls being tarnished by horrific acts. Ba'al Harachamim, master of compassion, help us hold the humanity and heartache of the Jewish people, while also holding the humanity and dignity of the Palestinian people. As we are made in your image, remind us of your ways. Spread over us your shelter of peace and fulfill the vision of your prophets. They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not take up sword against nation. They shall never again know war. And together we say, Amen. We return to our prayer books now at the bottom of page 252. And we invite up Sam Dardick and Whitney Katz Dardick to help us lift, dress, and return the Torah to the Ark. Page 252 at the bottom. Please rise as you are able.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל, היא אדוני ביד משה. יצחקי למחזיקים
Be seated. We now have the opportunity to hear a couple words of Haftarah, a part of our Hebrew Bible that connects sometimes to our Torah reading of the week, but in this case it connects to our calendar as it is the beginning of a new Hebrew month. So we read the Haftarah portion for Rosh Chodesh, and if you would like to follow along with this reading, you may do so back in those Chumashim, those printed versions of Torah. And now we're on page 1493, 1493, with Isaiah chapter 66, beginning with verse 10, and then we'll do a little bit of a jump to get to the end at verse 23.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar binvim tovim v'ratzah v'divrehem hana'emarim ba'emet Baruch atah Adonai haboher b'torah uv'Moshe avdo Yisrael amo uvinviei hamet v'tzedek simhu et Yerushalayim v'gilu v'kol ohaveha sisu itamasos kol hamitablim aleha Lemantin usvatem mishod tanhumeha lemantamotsu vihidanaktem miziz kivoda kiho amor Adonai hineni notele kenar shalom Uchnahal shotef Givod goim Vihina anaktem Outside Tina seu Va'abiru kayim Tisho osha'u Ki'ish Asher imo Snahamenu Kain anohi Anahem Uv Yerushalayim Tenu Hamu V'haya Midei Hodesh B'hod Sho Umidei Shabbat B'Shabbato Yavo Kol Basar L'Hishtavot L'Fanai Amar Adonai Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, tzor kol ha'olamim, tzadik b'hol ha'lebrot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer ve'oseh, ha'mdaber u'mekayeh, shekol davara emet v'tzedek, al ha'torah, v'al ha'avodah, v'al hanvim, v'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh, shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu, likdusha v'limnu le'avod, Tifaret. Ahakol Adonai Eloheinu Anachnu Modim La Umvarhim Ota Yiparas Shimha Befi Kol Hai Tamid Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Elle, we are so proud of everything that you just showed us in this service, about your ability to lead us and lead us in prayer, about your ability to learn Torah and interpret Torah and teach Torah and to chant Torah and Haftarah. We are so proud of everything that you have done during this service. And all the more so, we're proud of everything that you've done to lead us to this moment, about every part of you that has taken on every dance step in learning how to become bat mitzvah and how to become really a leader of our community. We're so proud that it feels like you've given us a really big gift. And really, everything that you are has become such a gift to us and to our community. And because you've given us these gifts, we get to give you a couple gifts back now. So first, I'd like to invite Avi Greenfield, our Executive Vice President, to offer some gifts and blessings on behalf of our whole congregation.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Elle, you did such a wonderful job this morning, so poised and confident, did a beautiful job leading the service and chanting from the Torah. and your lessons about how being creative and resilient are so important, something that we should remind ourselves of very often. It was very clear how much work you put in preparing for this day over many years. Gives us a special sense of pride, all of us here at Temple Jeremiah who helped prepare you for this day. And but as you know, this is a great milestone, but as you know, in the Jewish tradition, learning is really a lifelong thing. So we hope and pray that this is just the first of many simchas that we can celebrate with you and your family, and that you will remain a part of this community, not just because your parents and your sisters are here, but because you are now an adult member of the Temple Jeremiah community. So it gives me great pleasure to present you with a few lovely gifts here. We have the Amazing Adventures of the Jewish People, a lovely gift from the rabbis in Cantor, and a very nice frame-worthy certificate of Bat Mitzvah, and two certificates here, one from the Union for Reform Judaism and the other from the Jewish United Fund, that we hope you'll be able to use at some point for a trip to Israel. And also the lovely Kiddush cup that we'll use here in a few minutes, we hope that you can use to celebrate many special occasions and Shabbat and holidays in your own home for decades to come. Mazel Tov and Shabbat Shalom.
Now, Elle, Avi just told you how proud he is and our whole community. And I've told you how proud I am. And Cantor has told you many times in working towards this moment and even during the service how proud she is. And David is proud, and Isaac is proud, and Vicky is proud, and our usher. We're all very, very proud of you. I could go on and name everyone, but we'd be here for almost another service. But I can promise you, no one is more proud than your parents. And so I'd like to invite your parents forward to offer a blessing that they've been waiting pretty much 13 years to be able to give on the day of your bat mitzvah.
Elle, may you live to see your world fulfilled. May your destiny be for worlds still to come. And may your trust in generations past and yet to be. Ooh. Is this cut off?
May your heart be filled with intuition, and may your words be rich in understanding.
May songs of praise ever be upon your tongue, and your vision clarify a straight path before you.
May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face reflect the brightness of the heavens.
May your lips ever speak wisdom, and your fulfillment be in righteousness, even as you ever yearn to hear the words of the Ancient One of holiness.
So, Elle, I've been thinking about your lesson, creativity and responsibility and resiliency and all the things that we get out of creativity. And I've been thinking about how hard it really is to do. Because so many of us see the world in front of us and see the goal and can only really imagine one way to get to that goal. Whether it's a goal of what you want to be in the future, or a goal of what kind of community you want to build around you, or a goal of what grade you want to get on your next quiz, right? It's so hard to be able to think creatively about how to reach that goal. And how resiliency is really about being creative, about seeing more than one option in front of you, even as you stay true to that goal that you want to reach towards. And I've been thinking about how much we need reminders around us that being able to think creatively really is the whole goal in itself. And how God provided us that reminder. I keep looking at your Haftarah portion because it's as colorful as the rainbow. And that's all I can think about is like how the rainbow becomes this reminder, not just of a promise that God will care for us and for the world, but in the ways that we can take care of ourselves and the ways that we can be reminded, even on rainy and kind of icky days, that we have that potential within us. And to see a rainbow that's filled with colors and really hits every color in our visible spectrum, right? That it becomes our inspiration for finding new ways of caring for ourselves and caring for the people that we love and caring for the whole world around us. And because you quoted Rabbi Cohen, I feel like I can also quote Rabbi Cohen. He would say that it's not just about creativity leads to resiliency, but it's that taking our mindset and putting it towards a sense of abundance. That we have so many options ahead of us. We have so many people around us. We have this whole world that's filled with opportunity. And if we see it as, well, there's only one path ahead of us, then we feel restricted. But if we see all of the potential around us, then we can see it as abundance, right? You call it creativity, you call it resilience, he calls it abundance, we all call it blessings, right? We are surrounded by blessings. And by you teaching us about what it means to be creative, we're just reminded of the blessings that are around us and within us. And so really, thank you for being that reminder and for teaching us not just on this Shabbat, but every day that you are your best self. We are reminded about how to be our best selves because we get to follow your example. And what's so great about blessings is that they just lead to more and more and more blessings. And so we have one more blessing for you that Cantor and I are going to offer you because it comes straight from the Torah, straight from the place that we get this blessing of the rainbow, because we're taught that Aaron, Moses' brother, when he was changing his role in the community, when he was becoming a leader, he was blessed with this blessing. And so now we get to offer it to you as well. May God bless you and protect you. May God's light shine upon you and be gracious to you. May God lift you up as you have lifted each of us up. And may God bless you with the most precious of all blessings, the blessing of Shalom.
Amen.
And to this we all say Amen and Mazel Tov. Our tradition teaches us that in moments like this, where we are filled with blessing, that it becomes our privilege and our responsibility to go seek out even more blessings, to notice the blessings that are around us and to give thanks for them. And our tradition teaches that it's not only our privilege and responsibility to go searching for these blessings, but to bless indeed the creator of all blessings, to bless God. Aleinu lishabeach, it is upon each one of us. Page 282 at the bottom of the page. Please rise as you are able.
Aleinu lishabeach l'Adonai, l'Atit gedula liotzer brishit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, ve'lo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, ve'goralinu ke'olam, va'al
be seated. At this point in our service, we think of those who are no longer physically present in our everyday lives, but forever remain a part of our hearts, our minds, and our souls. And so I invite you, if you are in a period of Shiva or Shloshim, if you're marking a yahrzeit or someone just happens to be called to mind in this moment, I invite you to rise and to say their name aloud. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And at this moment of celebration, Elle and her family are especially feeling the absence of Carolyn and Leonard Dardick and Frederick Finney. Our Kadisha tome, our Mourner's Kaddish, can be found on page 294. Please rise as you are able. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach chiroteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayachon uvyomechon uv'chayed kol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mavarach le'olam olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shmed kudsha b'rechu, Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'amira me'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom ben romav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Zichronam levracha, may their memories forever be a blessing. And together we say, Amen. Amen. Please be seated. Now, it wouldn't be Shabbat without a little bit of a nosh and a little bit of sweetness. And so, Elle, I know you just got comfortable, but I'm going to invite you back to the bima along with your sisters for some Kiddush and Motzi. A couple quick announcements before we go and continue our Shabbat celebration. Each of you, as I mentioned earlier, received a prayer book from our wonderful ushers. Thank you very much, ushers. When the service is concluded, we ask that you return the prayer books to the ushers. And just take a second, look at how many of you there are, look at how many of them there are. There are a lot of prayer books that are about to come their way, and we'd love for them to usher again at some point. So we try to only overwhelm them just the right amount, instead of maybe all of them all at once, maybe like 5 or 6 at once, and then maybe they'll want to do more ushering at some other Shabbat. And I know how many of you want to share all of your mazel tovs and all of your congratulations and all of your way to goes and all of your woohoos as soon as possible with Elle. And our aisles are only so big, but there's so much more room in the lobby. So what I would like to ask is that you kindly let Elle and her family go to the lobby first before we fill the aisles, and then you can follow her and give some high fives and some fist bumps and some thumbs ups and some yay, I don't know. You can share all of your congratulations out in the lobby. Did I forget anything? Excellent. I always count on you. Make sure that I remember things. Okay, and we will conclude our service on page 321 with Adon Olam, and we invite up Jim Lyerly and Tracy Van Fleet to help us with our Ark doors. Page 321, please rise and remain standing for our closing song and blessing. Adonai oz le'amo yitain. Adonai varech et amo v'shalom. God bless your people with strength. Bless your people with the most precious of all blessings, the blessing of shalom. And Shabbat shalom.